Hello, YouTube! Welcome to part 2 of my build of the amazing Star Destroyer bridge from Charveys3D. In this video, I will show you how I use Blender to modify some of the files so that they would print correctly for me. I started this project by printing the files sdb1.stl through sdb4.stl, which was the top layer. Then I wanted to do the bottom layer, starting with piece number 9. Unfortunately, I had 5 straight failures with this one. Here are 3 of the failed prints. This was wasting a ton of time, and I went through a whole roll of wasted filament trying different approaches. As you can see in the picture, each time I was able to get a few inches high before the middle tree supports got knocked over. Only the 3 supports under the bridge were falling over. The 4 tree supports that were near the walls were fine. To solve this problem, I tried many things. Using a glue stick on the base plate and a skirt, making the diameter of the tree supports larger so they wouldn't fall over, they'd have a much larger footprint, increasing retraction so the nozzle wouldn't hit anything, and a few other things that I forget. However, I never tried using normal grid supports instead of tree supports, which may have helped. I don't know. Then I decided to make the base solid so I wouldn't need the tree supports at all. To do that, I opened the file in Blender, and luckily it was easy and straightforward to make the adjustments. This is Blender. It's free to download and use, so this is the one that I use for most of my work. So I won't go into complete details, but I'll show you roughly what I did. So I started a new project, and then I'll delete all the default objects. And then what you want to do is go File, Import, STL, and bring in, we'll do number 9, and import it. And then I scroll my mouse to zoom in because it's very big and it goes over here. And so there's the piece, and I'm holding the middle mouse button down and rotating around. You can see that there's the hole that I need to fill in, and there's some jaggies in there. So I'm going to make this solid. To do that, I go into edit mode. And the good news is this is not a complicated mesh. And you'll see how that helps in a second. So I'm zooming in with the mouse again. So to fill it in, the first thing I need to do is we're going to fill in all this area here with a solid wall. But to do that, I need to delete these inner walls. These are called faces, because if I leave them, it's going to cause problems because it's not going to be a hollow object and it's not going to know which face is the outside and inside, and it makes a mess. So I go up here to face select mode, and then I can select all these faces. You see, I'm rotating it around. I have to get rid of everybody. Let's see, make sure I got them all. Then I hit delete on my keyboard, faces. Okay, and then that opens it up. So now what I can do is go back to vertex mode. So that's all these little dots. And I'm going to trying to bring it up so I can see it. And then what you can do is take all the dots, select all the dots, and press F for add face and F again. And see, now I'm starting to make it solid. And then I can do the same thing over here. So it's got a little bit of an edge. So I go back to face mode. I select all my faces to get rid of them, because remember, they cause problems if I leave them. Delete faces. And then I've made a hole. Now, this one is interesting. So I'll go back to vertex mode. I need to put another dot down here, right around here, so that I can make the faces add up. So to do that, I can select this one, press E on my keyboard to extrude, which will keep that dot there but make a whole new one, and you'll see in a second. And then I press Z because I want to go down in the up and down Z direction. And then I can bring it all, see it now, the new vertex, and it doesn't matter where I leave it because I'm going to fix that in a second. So you see now I've made a new edge with two vertexes because I extruded it. And then what I need to do is click on this one because I want to see where it is in space. I'm going to press N on my keyboard to get this menu. It tells me, so for this selected vertex, this is the X, the Y, and the Z. So the Z is 3.175. I copied that. I'll go to this new vertex, select it, paste it in, and hit enter. So now that vertex is exactly where it needs to be. And then I can close up that hole. So I'm going to go here, 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 and here. F for add a new face, F again. See that? So now I've made it solid. Then you'll notice that there's also, this one is open. So I'll go F, F, and I've solidified that. Then you'll see on the bottom, there's a hole here, F, F. Now this is where it gets interesting, but what I can do, and Blender's smart enough to do this, is I can select all of these guys. So all the vertexes around the hole, and then I can go FF, and then it adds a face. So I know there's a lot of lines and a lot of vertexes going on here, but if we look around, every line is flat. So what I've done is closed up the box. And what I like to do is I have this 3D print tab. So this was an extension that I added, and I can just do a check. And this will tell me if I've made any mistakes. You definitely don't want non-manifold edges. And that's why if we didn't delete all those inner ones where I selected the faces and hit delete, it would create all kinds of non-manifold edges that would cause problems with the print. So I have none of those, and I have no so everything is good. So then what you can do is export a now STL, and you could just give it your own name, Steve STB9.stl, save it, and that's what I would print. It turned out that the modified solid base version of STB9.stl used less filament than the original tree supported version and printed much faster using my settings. By comparison, STB7.stl used more filament than the tree supported version, and it also required less time to print. As a result, I use Blender to modify all these pieces to have solid bases. Now, this is just the method that worked best for me. Maybe there were other ways, other print settings, or print orientations to print the pieces as they were originally designed by Charveys. But in the end, I was able to print all the pieces I modified successfully, so that is how I proceeded. Thank you for watching my video on how to use Blender to modify STL files. If you have any other suggestions or ideas, please drop a comment below. Please also check out the other videos in this series of my Star Destroyer bridge build, which are linked below in the description.